Hello, I am Maria from Calidad. I want to tell you about last weekend when Calidad had a conference called Return of the Gods, the Knowledge from the Past. We had invited 3 experts on ancient history from Egypt: Patricia Awyan, Yosuf Awyan, and Mohamed Ibrahim. Patricia told us about symbols and mysticism in ancient Egypt. She told us about the gods and goddesses, what they mean to people. She also drew the connection between ancient times and the new times on a spiritual level. And she told us about the 360 senses that the ancient Egyptians meant we all had. 360 compared to 5. We had Mohamed, who told us about the symbolism in the written language from ancient Egypt. About different styles and how you have to interpretate the language. It's like our own history with the Vikings, where the Vikings did write in poems, so you have to kind of understand how they lived and thought to understand what the meaning of the writing. It's the same in ancient Egypt. And Yosuf, he showed us something really interesting. Because the older the artifacts in Egypt, the finer they are. And in really, really old times, they use tools that are not available anymore, and that your ancient history from Egypt didn't have. So what happened? Where did this knowledge go? He also showed us that both hieroglyphs and other artifacts are falsified by the pharaohs in ancient times, because they reuse the things. Like a statue, you can see that they taken out the name of the king on the statue and rewritten it with the current king. So they falsified the history. So then you understand that it's really hard to go back and find the real history, because it's mystery. Very interesting. So what happened with that knowledge? Did something happen? Was there a catastrophe on Earth during this period of time? And because when you see, you can see it, that even the hieroglyphs, they are so fine from the old times, and then they get simplified and really used much less precise tools to do this. So that was a really interesting thing. Patricia, Mohamed, and Yosuf are really good teachers, because they made us think. They didn't give us the answers. They showed us stuff, and then we started to think. During their stay, they also were able to go to the museums in Oslo, and they went to the museums, the Viking Museum in Bygdøy, and what they saw there is a lot of huge ships, and the Egyptians also had huge ships. So I think the cultures, the people from ancient times, they were traveling much more than we think. And that's very, very interesting. And we, in Calidad, we showed Patricia, Yosuf, and Ibrahim, Mohamed, what we are doing with the plasma technology. And that was really interesting as well, because there are some big holes in the history, because we don't know what the pyramids were for. They were probably reused, like I told earlier, by as tombs or burial monuments for pharaohs and other kings. But they were probably much older than that. So what did they use them for? Was there like energy generators? Can it be related to the plasma energy technology that we are looking at now? I think that's very, very interesting. I'm so glad that Yosuf, Patricia, and Mohamed came to Norway to teach us all this and to make the connections. And I hope to see them soon again. I hope more people will be interested in their work, because this is so interesting. And I hope we can go to Egypt and see it for ourselves. Not the written history in our books, but see it for ourselves and make our own thoughts about how the ancient people lived. Thank you.